Hi everyone, we are still looking at parametric equations using trigonometric identities. Trigonometric identities. Without wasting time, let's look at a problem on the board. The problem says a circle has parametric equations x equals 13 parenthesis here, the cosine of theta plus 1, and y equals 13 sine of theta plus 5. Now you are asked to find the Cartesian equation of the circle, and you are also asked to draw a sketch of the circle, and lastly find the coordinates of the points of intersection of the circle with the x-axis. The coordinates of the points of intersection of the circle with the x-axis. So let's move on straight away. We now know what we should do with parametric equations. You always try to make the parameter the subject of the formula, more or less, so that you'll be able to get rid of it. So here we have x and y. We are asked to find the Cartesian equation. So what we need in the Cartesian plane, we need the x and y axis. So which means we're going to try to make theta here or the subject of the formula. So if that is the case, let's start with x equals 13, bracket opens, the cosine of theta plus 1. We are looking at the x components. As we already said, we want to make theta here cos of theta the subject of the formula. So we divide by 13. So therefore here you have x divided by 13 is equals the cosine of theta plus 1. So we bring the 1 over the equality sign. So this sign plus here will now change to minus. Now you now have x divided by 13 minus 1 equals the cosine of theta. So that's what we want. Let's stop there for now. We come to the y-axis. You have y equals 13 the sine of theta plus 5. So we'll do the addition first. So we'll bring the 5 over the equality sign. You will have y minus 5 equals 13 the sine of theta. 1 theta here, so we try to get rid of 13. So you now have y minus 5 divided by 13 equals sine of theta. So now we have succeeded to isolate the cosine and sine. And since we are already told that this is a circle, we are dealing with a circle here. Yeah? We know the formula of a circle. And also we have the sine theta and cos theta. There's a relationship between these two. A relationship between these two. And what is that relationship? We know that the cosine square theta plus the sine square theta is equals to 1. We know this. So if that is the case, if we now square this and we square this, it will be equal to 1. So therefore, the cosine of theta is x minus 13, x over 13 minus 1. So therefore, x all over 13 minus 1 all squared plus the sign, which is y minus 5 over 13, y minus 5 all over 13 all squared equals 1. So now we have our parameters in the Cartesian coordinates. What we are seeing now is just x and y. Theta is gone. That's what we want. These are now Cartesian coordinates. Well, all we need now is to simplify. You can leave your answer like this if you want to, but you might not get the full mark. So let's simplify here. What is inside these brackets? X gonna be minus 13 all over 13 squared, yeah? Plus y minus 5 all over 13 squared, yeah? Equals 1. Agreed? This is algebra now. So now you have here x minus 13 all squared divided by 13 squared. I just took 13 from the parentheses, plus y minus 5 all squared equals 13 squared equals 1. It's all the same, nothing changed. Same equation, we're just doing some manipulations to make the answer look or take the form of a circle. We all know the formula for a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. This is the formula of a circle that is centered at the origin. If it's not centered in the origin, then you will have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. That is when it is not centered at the origin, and that is what we have here. We have already seen numbers inside the parentheses. That is telling us this circle is not centered at the origin. So have this at the back of your mind. Yeah? Let me leave it there. So what we have now, this one here, we now know that x minus 13 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared equals this 13. Take the denominator, so I can just multiply it by this one. So it's gonna be now 1 times 13 squared, which is just 13 squared. So this is the equation of a circle. They say find the Cartesian equation of the circle. Part A is answered. This is the equation they want you to find. Now part B says draw a sketch of the circle. If we are sketching our equation, yeah? If the circle is centered at the origin, it's gonna be something like this. This is the origin. And then anything from here, this could be your radius. This is a circle that's centered at the origin. But this circle here, we see it has 13 on the x component and minus 13 on the x component and minus 5 on the y component. It's not centered at the origin. Yeah? Since these are minus signs, it's telling us that when you interpret this now, it's going to be plus 13, plus 5. So the circle is centered somehow on the positive side of the Cartesian coordinates, which is here in this case, it looks like it's centered on the first quadrant. Yeah, this is first quadrant, second, third, fourth. First quadrant, everything is positive, so it's here. 13 is going to be here, 5 is going to be here, y is 5, going to be here, 13 is going to be here. So the circle is somewhere around here on the first quadrant. Let's sketch it. Just a sketch, yeah? We're not going to be, since it is centered on the first quadrant, we need more space here. If we say here is, let's just say we are dealing with big numbers here. Let's say this is 5, and here is 5, 10, 15. Yeah, 5, 10, this is 0, 15, this is 5, 10, this is y-axis, x-axis, it's 10. So what is 13? 13 is somewhere around here, and sorry, x is 13. 13 is somewhere around here, between 10 and 15. And y is 5. 5 is already here. So where they intersect, this is our center. This is the center of the circle. If that is the center, then this needs to extend. This needs to extend. And the radius, we are told, is 13 squared. So if you want to find the value of 13 squared, the square root of 13, because you now have radius squared is 13. So what is radius? This is the root of 13. Yeah. So root of 13, 3 times 3 is 9. It's 3 point something. 16. 3 points, maybe 4. Let's just assume. You are just sketching. Yeah? So when you draw now, this is your center. Going to get something like this. Sorry, my diagram is not good. Yeah? Something like this you get. If you are not sure how to sketch this, this is not proper, but it's a sketch. This is the center, yeah? Better this time. Now we are looking at, they ask us to find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the circle with the x-axis. If this C part was not given to you, you want to sketch the graph, you will find this C, you will solve this C part. That will give you a proper information or good information for you to be able to sketch the graph. So let's see. Now, what's part C is saying? Find the coordinates of the point of intersection. That is where this circle meets the x-axis. They're asking you about the coordinates here. These coordinates, where it cuts the x-axis. It's two places. And where it cuts its x-axis, the value of y is 0. We know that. If they ask you to find the intercept of x, then it means the value of y is 0. If they ask you to find the intercept of y, if you are drawing a line, It asks you to find the intercept of the line on the y-axis. It means x is 0 there. So here again, there is no y value where it cut here. Y value is 0 here. There is no y value here. Y value doesn't exist here, it's 0. So what that means, we have to go back to our equation of the circle. And then we say y is 0. And what is that equation? We have it here, but A. Yes, part A. This equation here. If we now say y is 0, what would we get? Now we are looking at part C. You have x minus 13 all squared plus, now y is 0. 0 minus 5 all squared is 13 squared. Right? I may use this space here, excuse me. Yeah. $13 squared. So we have x minus 13 all squared plus, if you squared minus 5, you will get 25. No more negative sign. So here we'll just say plus 25. And it's equals to 13 squared. Okay? We are looking for the coordinates of the point of intersection of the circle with the x-axis. That's what we are finding now. So when you look at this one straight away, you know this is a quadratic equation now. So let's expand this one here. If we expand this one here, you will get x squared minus twice the sum of their products, but this is minus here, so 2 times 13, which is minus 26x, plus this is 169, yeah, plus 169 when you square 13, but I will just put it again as 13 squared. Why? Because I have 13 squared here, plus 25 equals 13 squared. You can expand this, it doesn't matter, but I'm seeing 13 squared here, 13 squared here. What I want to do is, I just want to get rid of them. 13 squared cancels 13 squared. So what we now have, x squared minus 26x plus 25 equals 0. That's a quadratic equation now. Now we need to factorize. And you know how to, well, we started with quadratic equation, if you can remember, a couple of months ago. And we did all the methods of solving a quadratic equation. All the methods, we mentioned them. This, the graph method, the formula method. We need the factorization method using the vertex form. So we did all that. Now we just get to recall which one to use here. Let's factorize. Here you have minus 26x, here you have plus 25. You have to find the factors of 25. 25, the factors of 25, and look at minus 26. Which numbers, when you add those two numbers, you get minus 26. But when you multiply those two numbers, you get plus 25. So it's like looking for the factors of 25. So now you have 25. I'm just doing a revision now. 25, factors of 25, you have 5 and 5. Will give you 25, yeah? You have minus 5, minus 5. Minus 5 times minus 5, you get 25. Mind you, you should have this at the back of your mind when you are looking for the factors of 25. So again, you have 1 and 25. These are factors of 25 as well. And you have minus 1, minus 25. These are factors of 25 as well. You also have Yes, these are factors of 25. Let's stop there. So here, when you add those two numbers, you get minus 26. All these factors we have stated. This one, this one, this one, this one. All these are factors of 25. But among them, which one will give you 26 when you add them together? But when you multiply them, you get 25. Already these are factors of 25. So when you multiply them, you get 25. So you just look at which ones to add and get minus 26. Our best candidate is this one. Minus 1 plus minus 25, you get minus 26. So this is what we are going to work with. This one here is our best candidate. So we now have x squared. Instead of this 26, now we are going to split it. This 26x. It means now we are saying minus x minus 1 minus 25x. We still have this 25 plus 25 all equals 0. Just this 26 will split it now. If you add this and this, minus x minus 25x, you get minus 26x. You still have it. You have your 25. Then, now we factorize. These two and these two. So x outside the parentheses, you will have x minus 1. If you multiply out, you still get x squared minus x. And you have minus. You put in minus here, you put a bracket, this sign will change. Because this minus sign will affect this. 25 is a common factor. But you have x, and x is here. So I told you because of minus, now you need to put here minus 1. When you multiply out, you get minus 25x, minus, you get 25. This is equal to 0. This is the stage you watch when you are doing factorization. If this, what is inside this parenthesis is different from what is inside this parenthesis, then your answer is wrong. You need to go back and check it out. These two have to be the same at this juncture here. They have to be the same. So now you factorize. You know one of your factors now is this is common. So you have x minus 1. And now what is outside? The parenthesis x minus 25. These are your factors. Yeah? So if that is the case, it means if two products, you multiply two products, you get 0. It means one of them is 0 or both of them are 0. So therefore, either x minus 1 equal to 0 or x minus 25 equals 0. If you say 10 times 0 equals to 0, it means either 0 is equal to 0 or 10 equal to 0. Just an example for you to understand that concept. Right? So if that is the case, I need this side again. Yeah, on this side. We now have x equals to x minus 1 equal to 0. This means x equals to 1. Or x minus 25 equals to 0. This implies x equals 25. But earlier on we said that the intercepts on the x-axis, y is 0. So because they ask us to find the coordinates, so they come in pairs. You have the x and y coordinates, x and y coordinate. So now you have x here is 1, so it means the y coordinate is 0 at this point. We mentioned that in it. And x coordinate here, no, we are looking out for coordinates. So now here we have 1, so this is going to be 1, 0, and again we have x here. The x is 25 and y is 0 at this point because y is 0 on the x coordinate. So now we know our graph our graph, here was 1 and here was 25. So this point is 25 and this point here is 1. This is where it cuts. And you have your center here. So this is where it cuts the x-axis at points 1, 0 and 25, 0. I hope this helps. It's a long explanation. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.